and welcome to the Movies Past and Present podcast. It's March 7th, 2019, and this is episode 14. I'm your host, Stanford Clark, and I'm podcasting from the crossroads of the West in beautiful Salt Lake City, Utah. Just like my blog, moviespastandpresent.com, I'll be providing recommendations, commentary, and reviews about current and classic cinema. Thanks for tuning in, and let's get started. New in theaters. Well, actually, it's something that I forgot to mention last week. A film that opened on March 1st, which is Tyler Perry's A Madea Family Funeral. Hard to believe I forgot that one, huh? It's a comedy drama from Lionsgate Pictures, written and directed, of course, by Tyler Perry. This is the film series that everyone seems to love to hate. And, of course, then creator Tyler Perry is just laughing all the way to the bank. This is the 11th and final film from what I've heard. Tyler Perry has stated that this is going to be his last Madea film. And as you know, Madea is an elderly woman played by Tyler Perry dressed in drag. And she's sassy, and again, they made a lot of movies about this and a lot of money. The plot summary is a joyous family reunion turns into a hilarious nightmare as Madea and crew travel to backwoods Georgia and unexpectedly plan a funeral, which threatens to reveal sordid family secrets. So, anyway. Sorry that I forgot to mention that one last week, but there you have it. So Tyler Perry's A Madea Family Funeral is rated PG-13 by the Motion Picture Association of America for crude sexual content, language, and drug references throughout. So now, opening this weekend, and you'll be able to see the first screenings of it tonight. It's Marvel Studios' latest film, Captain Marvel. It's, of course, an action-adventure superhero movie, co-directed by Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck. And I'm actually going to review this film in the podcast today. Had a chance to see it earlier at a press screening, and I'm excited to talk to you about it. It's rated PG-13. By the Motion Picture Association of America for sequences of sci-fi violence and action and brief suggestive language. So, new in theaters, Tyler Perry's A Madea Family Funeral, which, from last week, and then Captain Marvel. Alright, so for reviews, as I mentioned, I'd like to talk about the new Marvel Studios film, Captain Marvel. And this movie is just really a lot of fun. It's set in 1995, which is kind of a cool idea, and an era where the Marvel Cinematic Universe, as we know it, has not really explored. It stars Brie Larson as Captain Marvel, but also has just an absolutely fantastic cast. Samuel F.L. Jackson is back in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, playing a younger Nick Fury. Again, this being set in 1995, they did some work on him as far as, some computer-generated effects to make him look a little younger. And his character doesn't have the eye patch yet, as he does in the films where we, that we're familiar with Nick Fury. Also, and he's an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., the Strategic Homeland Intervention Enforcement and Logistics Division that he's working at, again, when we meet him later on in these Marvel Cinematic Universe films that we've been familiar with over the last decade. Also back in play is Agent Coulson, who's played again by Clark Gregg, and same thing. They make him look a little younger, but it's still cool to have both of them involved. So Captain Marvel is set in both on Earth in 1995 and in outer space. So this will be a spoiler-free review, but I'll just try to set it up for you. So in the Marvel Comics, we've got these alien races. One is called the Kree, and another one they're called the Skrulls. So the Kree and the Skrulls, and they have been at each other's throats for millennia. They're constantly fighting. So this film continues this fight, the storyline of the fight between the Kree and the Skrulls, and Captain Marvel is really kind of gets in the middle of it. When we first meet Captain Marvel, they call her Vers, and you'll learn more about that when you go see the movie. But Vers is a powerful warrior, and part of the Kree alien race when we meet her. And then they're fighting. So the Krees are fighting the Skrulls. The Skrulls are shapeshifters, and when you see them normally, their skin is kind of green in color, and they've got some lines in their skin, as well as pointy ears. But they can take on the appearance of other beings, which really makes them a more formidable foe, because again, you might not necessarily recognize them as being a Skrull, and anyway, and it also adds to kind of the interest and excitement of the film, because you might not necessarily know who everybody is at any given time. But there's a mishap, and Vers crash lands on Earth along with some of these shape-shifting Skrulls. Then she encounters Nick Fury, and it almost becomes like a buddy cop flick, where Vers and Nick Fury are unfolding this mystery of who Vers actually is. Where did she come from, and what's going on with these aliens? And Vers is also, though, having some interesting memories that are resurfacing, as if she had been on Earth before. So this buddy cop flick also turns into kind of a mystery movie, as Vers tries to figure out who she really is, and how does she fit in with all this war going on, this intergalactic war, and et cetera, et cetera. So that's kind of the setup. But I gotta tell you, this is just another one of those really solid entries for Marvel Studios. Maybe not their best film, but it's absolutely terrific. High quality effects, really great actors. I think that's one of the hallmarks of these Marvel Studios films, is they just cast them so well. So Brie Larson's terrific. Of course, Samuel Jackson is so great, and often his role's kind of played for laughs in this film, but it really works, I thought. There are some new cast members into the Marvel universe as well. There's a U.S. Air Force pilot. The character's name is Maria. She's played by Lasagna Lynch, and she's terrific. Nick Fury's SHIELD boss is played by Ben Mendelsohn, and Ben's got a pretty big role in this movie, and he's terrific. Annette Bening is in it, playing kind of a mysterious role. I won't go into that, but she's in it. And Jude Law is in it too, and he's terrific. He plays a Kree dude who's training Vers, aka Captain Marvel, and there's some other cast members too, which I won't spoil, but really, really fun. Also, as I'm sure you've determined or figured out, this film is really also a setup for the upcoming Avengers movie, which is opening April 26th, Avengers Endgame. And Avengers, all these Marvel Studio films, they're connected. They're just like one big great serial film. But Avengers Endgame was really the second part of Avengers Infinity War, which left with a major cliffhanger. So this film is also a bridge into Avengers Endgame, and how fun that Avengers Endgame opens up next month. It's hard to believe that we're already here. As you also already know, with any Marvel Studios film, stay through the end credits, and stay till the very end. So just you know that, and I just hope you'll go have fun at the movies. It's again, not necessarily the most brilliant movie ever made, but it's just a high quality entry into this really fun film series from Marvel Studios. So Captain Marvel, I give it 4 out of 5 stars. You can read my full review on the blog, and I will have links to it on the podcast notes. Okay, for Classic Cinema Corner this week, a couple of things. First off, I had a chance last week to see the film Casablanca on the big screen. It's one of my all-time favorites, if not my most favorite classic film. But this was a little different. This was actually called Casablanca in Concert, and it was so much fun. So if you've never heard of this, some movie studios now are doing this where they'll have a print of the film without its symphonic score, and then you go to a concert hall and they'll play the film on the big screen, and then have an actual live orchestra play the score in sync with the film. And so that's what went on with this. I saw with the Utah Symphony here in Salt Lake City, and even though we're not the largest market necessarily in the country, the Utah Symphony is really an outstanding organization with a wonderful history and also just a lot of really great musicians. It's always a pleasure to hear the Utah Symphony, and this was also in Maurice Abravanel Hall, which is their home base, but it's just just a lovely concert hall with wonderful acoustics and just a beautiful setting. So it was so fun to see this movie that I love with this great live music, and just really brings another dimension to it. So Max Steiner, the great Max Steiner, wrote the score for Casablanca, and so much of it you probably recognize, but also it holds up so well on its own, but it's wonderful to see it in context of the film. Probably if I had any kind of criticism, and this is really, really minor, but they had the audio levels, I thought, a bit low on the film. Thankfully, they had put the film had subtitles, but it was sometimes hard to hear the film over the orchestra, and I think they maybe could have just turned up the volume a little bit, frankly, just on the film, just to even it out a little bit. But again, the music was the star, so I can't necessarily fault them for that. But Casablanca in concert was wonderful. I looked online, and it looked like the next time this is playing is, I mean, not that it's so much traveling around the country, but I think just different symphonies are choosing to program it. But the Chicago Symphony Orchestra is going to be playing it this month, and so I just say, look for a symphony near you for Casablanca in concert, because it's a real treat. The Utah Symphony in May is going to be doing Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, in concert too, and I'm planning to go to that, and I'm really excited. That should be an absolute blast to hear the wonderful John Williams music played live while the film is playing too. So really a fun way to see movies. Also, as an added bonus, Casablanca is one of the films on my TCM Essentials list. So I was happy to knock another movie off there, but also just to have a really unique and fun way to experience the film. All right. Now, I just wanted to give a little update on the Turner Classic Film Festival, which is happening next month in Hollywood, California. This is such a great event. I'm really excited to be and grateful to be able to go to this. It's April 11th through 14th in Hollywood, California. I'll have links to. Actually, I think all the tickets are now sold out from what I've read, but I think there's a wait list and some other things. But I'll have links on the podcast notes. They still are finalizing plans, and they also kind of wait to make all their announcements until closer to the event. But over this last week, TCM did announce that they will be doing a tribute to the 20th Century Fox studio at the film festival, which, really I think is just most likely because of the sale of the 20th Century Fox to the Walt Disney Company. That's going to be finalized here in the near future. But they've got some cool films that they're going to be showing. Well, and just to be clear, 20th Century Fox is not going away. That will still be a branded studio. It's just going to be owned by Disney. So there's still going to be movies made by 20th Century Fox. I mean, that was the whole point. So Disney could really expand both their library as well as just their filmmaking capabilities. But anyway, so these films from 20th Century Fox are going to be shown at the Turner Classic Movies Classic Film Festival. They're going to show The Sound of Music in a 70 millimeter print, so that I think is going to be really cool. They're also, speaking of Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, they're going to be showing the special edition of that. I wish it were the original version and not George Lucas' special edition, but how fun to see that on the big screen. Life Begins at 40, which is a film from 1935 that stars Will Rogers and Richard Cromwell. The Little Colonel, also from 1935, which stars Shirley Temple, Lionel Barrymore, and Bilbo Jangles Robinson. Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, the musical starring Marilyn Monroe and Jane Russell. That's from 1953. And also from 1953, The Robe, starring Richard Burton and Gene Simmons. So, cool films on the big screen. There are 3 other Fox titles that had already been previously announced that are playing with the film festival. One is Sunrise, A Song of Two Humans from 1927. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, and Hello Dolly, both from 1969. So they're celebrating their 50th anniversary screenings for both of those films. So really cool stuff. Another thing that they do at the TCM Classic Film Festival is they show films in 35 millimeter nitrate. So, as you know, nitrate is incredibly volatile and just burns easily. And there's just not a lot of theaters or projection rooms that are able to just be certified to be able to handle it. But the Egyptian Theater in Los Angeles. It's just in Hollywood, and it's just, a couple of blocks away from the classic Chinese theater. But they've got a certified projection room now that can handle these nitrate screenings. And I've been to a couple of them at film festivals in the past, and seeing a film in nitrate was something special. I saw a black and white one and a color one, and the amazing shades of gray that were available in that black and white film, it was just like revelation. And then same thing with the color. I just don't think I'd ever seen colors like that projected on a big screen. So it just makes for a really unique experience, and it's cool that I think that's just one of the nice things that they can do at the film festival to make it a special and unique experience. So they announced some nitrate screenings of 4 films that they're going to be doing. One is The Bachelor and the Bobby Soxer from 1947, The Dolly Sisters from 1945, Samson and Delilah from 1949, and Roadhouse from 1948. So anyway, really excited about that. Again, I'll put links about the film festival, the Turner Classic Film Festival, in the podcast notes, and I also am blogging about it too, so you can read about it on moviespastandpresent.com. As far as recommendations go, I say go see Captain Marvel. I think it's playing on a lot of screens this weekend in particular. Also looks like it's playing in IMAX too, so that would be fun. I just saw it in a regular theater, but would love to see it in IMAX. But go see Captain Marvel and go have some fun at the movies. Well, thanks so much for listening. Again, links and more information about all the movies discussed in today's podcast can be found in the podcast notes on my blog at moviespastandpresent.com. And we'll see you at the movies.